Okay, so we are back to where we were, and we are discussing about the neural networks, artificial neural network, okay, which is linked to my deep learning. Now, here they're given a very beautiful example of how exactly this thing works to understand that. It is giving you a school situation so that I can correlate it pretty well. It says the school has to select students for the upcoming sports meet. The school principal forms a group of 3 teachers, a kind of a jury, and entrusts them with the responsibility of selection of students based on the following criteria. They have to choose the students based on this criteria of marks in grade 10th, gender, age, and emotional stability. Okay. All this information will be given to the jury, and based on that, of students, and based on that, they have to say whether the student is selected or whether the student is not selected. That's the final outcome. Okay, now just to see that whether they will do a fair judgment or whether their judgment is going to be the way things have been done in the past few years. So what this principal does, he said, I'll give you the previous year's data. Okay, and as per your judgment, tell me which all candidates should have been selected. And then we'll tally it with our selection. The last year बच्चे select हुए थे. Do they tally or not? ठीक है? So we say that the school has a history of fair selection procedure, and therefore only talented and bona fide students are able to secure whatever. The principal decides to share with the jury data of 50 previous students who were selected as case studies, right? The principal feels this will give the jury an opportunity to practice that ठीक है, इस तरीके से we should go about it, which will eventually help them to make a fair selection. Okay, they start. Now they start with the process is given like a maximum 10 points ka weightage hai. One by one, they have to they have to give points to the child as per different criteria and then total it up to see what is it. But here they are saying the cutoff average required for a student to qualify is fixed at 6. So a student needs to have an average score more than or equal to 6 to reserve his or spot in the sports team. Okay? After the jury gives their verdict on a particular student, the principal will reveal whether the verdict was selected or not. This is my final output. Okay, great. Now this is the first student. Okay. अब फर्स्ट स्टूडेंट के लिए देयर आर 3 टीचर्स एज द जूरी मेंबर्स. सबका अपना अपना क्राइटेरिया, अपनी अपनी सोच है, यू नो. Like the first teacher says, I'm reading for the first child so that we can understand that what we are trying to actually do. The teacher one says, for me, the grade 10 marks is the most important thing. So as per that, I'm giving the maximum weightage to student 1 because as per the marks, right? The teacher 2 says marks are important, yes, but gender, age is also equally important. So I give marks based on that criteria. मतलब उस point पे मैं ज़्यादा देती हूँ teacher को या कम देती हूँ मतलब. Teacher 3 says gender and emotional stability is important to me. And I'm assigning equal weightage to both of these criteria. Accordingly, I'll score student 1 with 5 points for gender, 5 points for emotional stability. Okay. So this is the tally chart for me, which has come up for a particular student as per all the 3 teachers. So teacher 1 में ये 7 है, बाकी जिन्होंने 0 दिया इसको for the marks tally में उसको 7 दे दिया. टीचर 2 ने इसको यहाँ पे 2 दिया, जेंडर और एज में 2 दिया. टीचर 3 ने यहाँ पे इसको 0 दिया, जेंडर में 5 दिया. उसको 10 marks they had been given to divide. Out of 10 आपको स्कोर करना. ठीक है, based on the above deliberation, this is what the jury members have done the scoring for student 1. Now the average score which has come out for student 1 is 7.6. 7.6 is more than my criteria, the 6th criteria we have set up. So as per the decision for this jury, the student has to be selected. But if you see, but when we see this thing, we find that it says that original decision जो last year लिया गया था, this particular child was not selected. But this jury has said that I will select this बच्चा because उसका score ज़्यादा है. ठीक है, that's one analysis. Now they do it for student 2. Student 2 when they come up, they are coming up with the same thing and they land up into certain marks, which I'm not going into those details. The score comes out to be 5.6. As per the selection rule, it should not be selected. But the principal reveals that the student was selected as per the original decision. So यहाँ दोनों में हो गई गड़बड़. Okay. So in this case, the jury's decision matches the original rule. Oh, sorry. In this case, it says that the jury said it should not be selected because उसका 6 से कम है and originally also he was not selected. Last year जब हुआ था. So they match. So एक में match हुआ, एक में match नहीं हुआ. ठीक है? So this is how you kind of work on it. I'm sorry, there's a message gone to Arjun. Ignore that. Right? Now, what is happening in this case? So that is how we work with it. That based on the criteria, based on the calculations, कुछ भी whatever you've thought of, the data is being worked out and you are getting a final decision. So इसको इन्होंने जो इसके diagram के according project किया है, this is how it looks like. That what are the factors which are going as input? Marks, gender, age, emotions. ये input गया है for every student. Juror 1, juror 2, juror 3. तीनों को मिल रहा है ये input. ठीक है? From juror 1, I'm getting one output. Juror 2 से, juror 3 से, and then the final verdict is taken. जो भी इसका average score आया है after the 3 people have given their decision. ठीक है? So what is shown to the user is the final verdict. What has been happening inside this layer, which is the jurors wala work, that's in my hidden layer. Will you correlate now? Input, तो हमने इनपुट उसको सारा डेटा दिया जो यूजर को भी पता है एंड द डिसीजन मेकर आल्सो नोज इट कि ये मेरा इनपुट है. Whatever the juror has done, which is happening in the hidden layers, is not known by the user. Machine knows it, the user doesn't know it. And then the final verdict is what is coming to the user. Okay. So the selection criteria is my input layer. The decision or the prediction is what we call as the output layer, whether he's selected or not. The jurors or the group of teachers form the hidden layer. Why is it hidden? Because no one besides them know how much weightage they are attaching to each criteria. That's completely kind of hidden from everybody. है ना? हम बोलते हैं ना कि हम judgment बता नहीं सकते. I mean, the criterias and the things we cannot tell to people. It's confidential. तो वो confidential वाला part जो हो रहा है, that is my happening in the hidden layers. ठीक है? So machine learning और deep learning को अगर हम differentiate करेंगे, so it will work out diagrammatically something like this. Input is coming in both the cases, output is coming definitely in both the cases. In machine learning, I am doing something called as feature extraction, जो हमने देखा. Either I am giving him the labeled data set based on features, or I am asking him to extract the features and do the work and do the learning. फिर उसको क्लासिफाई करो एंड गिव मी द आउटपुट कि भैया ये गाड़ी है कि गाड़ी नहीं है. जैसे इन्होंने यहाँ पे कार का एग्जांपल लिया. Whereas in the case of deep learning, I give him the input, feature extraction, classification, everything is happening at their hidden layer end. And then it is giving me the output that yes, this is a car, this is not a car. Okay. So very similar as such, वो भी कर रहा है वो काम. Obviously वो काम करे बगैर you will not be able to get the output, right? But it is doing all hidden from the user in the case of deep learning, right? So the difference of the two stands out like this. Machine learning works on small amount of data set for accuracy and deep learning works on large amount of data sets because वो सब कुछ खुद से कर रहा है तो उसको input बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए. Extraction के लिए, features extraction के लिए, it works on very large amount of data set. Otherwise, your output will not be correct because you're not really giving him any conclusion as such. Okay. Higher end machines में हम लोग deep learning use कर रहे हैं because there the feature extraction process is also being automized. Then we come down to the third point here, divides the task into subtasks, solve them individually and finally combines the results. Here the solves the problems end to end. कुछ ऐसा classification and thinking according to the classification is not done here. It takes less time to train because data is less. Data less होगा तो training भी less होगी. Data more है, that is why the training takes longer time. Here testing time may increase because it has not been trained properly. तो उसको तुमको test करने में और time लगेगा. Here the initial process has been long time taking, but it is perfect. Hence the testing time reduces. Okay, so that is how we differentiate between our machine learning and deep learning, which is very, very important to understand. And here are the few examples of deep learning. Automated driving. अब यहाँ पे क्यों ये चीज को deep learning के अंडर क्लासिफाई किया जाता है? Because automotive research are using profound learning to robotically spot entities such as stop lights, traffic signals, people around, obstructions, everything. In addition, deep learning is also used to detect pedestrians, reducing the incidence of accidents. Because इसमें obviously, you know, that automated driving is happening, उसमें सिर्फ एक aspect नहीं है. There are too many aspects which you have to be taking care of. That is why this comes under your deep learning only. Aerospace and defense, identify objects from satellites and locate safe and unsafe zones for troops in another area where deep learning is playing a major role. So defense, maybe this is taking care of a lot of things, helping out the people there. जो manually करने में बहुत time लगता था, machine takes lesser time. Medical research also the same thing. Cancer detection or other major medical issues. Therein, these kind of deep learning algorithms are really helping the doctors with the research work. Industrial automation also improving the worker safety around heavy machinery by automatically detecting when people or objects are within the unsafe distance from the machine. So you have maybe various ways in order to take care of this in factories. बहुत सारे situations को वो देखता जा रहा है, monitor कर रहा है automatically. A man monitoring it or a group, a human being monitoring it may have defaults. वो सो गया, वो पानी पीने चला गया, वो went for a smoke break or something. But machine is constantly taking care of things. So at these places, these things come really handy. Now, what machine learning can and cannot do? The first thought that arises in one's mind after learning about AI and ML is it if they will replace humans or not? In which case and for what humans? And what are humans for actually? What role does humans have to play? अगर सब कुछ वही खुद ही कर रहा है, then what are humans supposed to do? Humans are commander in chief, knowing what to count, whereas computers know how to do it better. आपको उसको काम में लगाना is your job. Where should I use them? How to do the job efficiently? That my machines are knowing it better now. Smart machines can be put to best use only when we understand what it can do and cannot do. AI and ML are tools like calculator that helps us solve complex problems which otherwise are complicated for human brain to solve. Obviously, here are a few examples of machine learning that we use every day. Obviously, our handy personal assistants, predictions, which we are getting. Unfortunately, our med department predictions are majority times wrong. But yes, the predictions of tsunamis and earthquakes and things like that, where people can be moved to safer places, they are definitely helpful. The video surveillances, which can be done through unmanned, what are those called? What are those called?
Drone.
Drones, yeah. Drones. So unmanned drones ke through they are able to be done easily. And they can track the unusual behaviors, the something happening, some wrong has happened. कुछ गड़बड़ है वहाँ पे कोई मूवमेंट नहीं है यहाँ पे सडनली बहुत ज्यादा मूवमेंट है कुछ भी इस तरह की चीजें some extra object showing up which may miss from human eye but machine will not do that. So video surveillance में this kind of things are very very helpful. And of course the social media services, email and malware, we've already discussed about this. Product recommendations, online fraud detection is another very very important factor where these machine learning algos are helpful. Okay. Where does it actually creates a problem for us are the ethical problems now. If a driving car kills someone on the road, then who's responsible? So these are the things they're working on. किस चीज को कैसे take care किया जाए. But that's the part required to be known regarding AI, ML, and DL. A very, very important and significant learning for your AI syllabus. Right? After this, let me see what all exercises and quizzes they have given. We have done it all, of course, in our previous classes also. We had made a lot of material based on it, but मैं एक बार 11th का भी जो material they are sharing, that's good. So I want to go through it once and then I will guide you as to कौन सा portion you must study for practicing the understanding. Yeah. Okay, so give me a little time for that. This material I definitely upload today for you to refer to. Rest your handbook is there already. Handbook has very little explanation, what I realized. Here they have given a lot of examples in order to understand the things better. If you think you can manage it with the handbook, well and good. But I find that these are giving very beautiful examples to understand the things in a very, very better manner. Okay, so all those students who are studying it for the first time, it will really help you. बहुत अच्छे से explained है. It will not take much time, but you will get the idea. Okay? So I'm trying to explain it to you so that your understanding is already done to some extent, and then when you read, you're just kind of revising that yes, whether I've understood it correctly or not. That is the main purpose. Okay? So all the best. Now I'm not going to disturb you anymore on Sunday and Monday. When we meet on Tuesday onwards, let's see whenever, whatever time we can find out. But I think that we have covered quite a lot for our exam. With Naisha, I'll be sitting for the Python part. Otherwise, we have covered quite a lot for the exam. I believe so. But थोड़ा बहुत एक दो चीजें अगर और required होगा तो I'll add on. Okay? Anything else you want to ask? Anybody? Yeah.
No.
Can't hear you.
No, ma'am. Actually, no. I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Anything from Arjun and Harshita?
No, ma'am.
Sure. Are the things, are the examples, making sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. Any doubt or anything, you can always ask. Fine? Okay then. Enjoy the rest of the 2 days left. Study. हो सके तो एक बार read कर लेना, it will be better. I'll try to send the quizzes and all also, which are there. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye. See you
Thank
next
you, ma'am.
week. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.